Today I'm going to walk you through how I updated my conveyor system so that it was better able to detect other conveyors around it to update its position, as well as implemented a system to do building. Let's get into it. Starting with the conveyor, one of the most important things that I added was this adjacent conveyor detector, which starts out and in each of the four directions, left, right, up, down, it adds a detector for that direction. And each of these detectors, what they do is they just look at, say, is there a conveyor in that position? And if there is a conveyor, it connects the signal conveyor changed so that we know that we need to update our position. Then at various times, at any time we have a new conveyor has been detected or something in that conveyor has changed, we know that we need to update our position. And so we are going to get the from direction for each of these. And the way that this works is we care most about the conveyor that is behind and leading into so if we're facing to the left with the conveyor, then and we have a conveyor on our right half that is pushing into us, then we're always going to stay here in this left direction, coming from the right, regardless of whether or not we have an up or down conveyor. And then if we have an up conveyor and not a down conveyor, then we care about coming from the top. If we have a down without an up, go from the bottom. Otherwise, if we have a top and a bottom coming into this left conveyor, we just stay coming from the right. And then that logic is similarly followed for all the other directions. Then we have for the buildings themselves, for trying to build the conveyors into the world, we have this conveyor icon scene. Let me get that pulled up. This conveyor icon scene has the same sprite as a conveyor. It is an area 2D that is looking to check whether or not there is already a conveyor in that spot. It can take an available color and a taken color that it will just change when it detects that it has a conveyor under it. And so I'm doing an on area entered and exit, just checking to see whether or not we have something there. Then inside of the physics process is where I'm actually modulating to check, if our area is entered is equal to 0, then we can place. Otherwise, it's currently red, which doesn't actually mean you can't place, but it means that it will, well, either that it won't place or that it will rotate the conveyor. I've set it up so that we can rotate in a clockwise direction with the rotate key, and then on left click, I set it up so that we can start placing it down. I am keeping track of the initial location of where the click was placed down in case they're going to drag it so that it remains either horizontally or vertically locked based off of the direction that the conveyor is going. So if it's going up and down, it will be vertically locked. So left and right, it will be horizontally locked. If there is no conveyor in that current spot, then we can go ahead and place a new conveyor and keep track of the handle tiles. Otherwise, we can go through and say, is one of the areas that we are gliding with a conveyor? If it is, let's go ahead and update the direction of that conveyor. That's how it is able to rotate. In the conveyor itself, I have the adjacent conveyor detectors, conveyor change signal linked to determine the from direction and orient that, as well as change the sprite to match that. And with all of that together, to change the direction of conveyors.